put our money into technology that's going to allow us all to live in harmony. There aren't going to be any wars. We have to create a society where our goal in life is not to accumulate money. Our goal in life is to make the world better for the person sitting next to us. This is our mission in life, and we have to, ideas are dead brain cells unless we act on them. So what I'm asking everybody is to vote with your checkbook, turn off a light bulb, tell somebody that knows somebody can help make it happen, even if you can't. But the time is now to act. We don't have any more time.
They can get stocks for this as well?
Yeah, there are companies out there that are, Nikola just went public. We're looking at Plug Power. We're looking at Ballard. We're looking at, all these electrolyzer companies, and more of them are springing up every day. Our goal here at the Hydrogen House is to take donations in, educate student interns, do projects and invent technology that are going to affect everybody and that everybody can use. This technology's been around for hundreds. It wasn't until they found nothing else suitable than hydrogen for outer space. You can't throw a battery overboard, you create another piece of space junk. And they've actually banned batteries from outer space.
So now there's a time limit. We only have 7 more years until a natural disaster, they're saying. So what can we do today, starting now? What can we do to take action so that...
Has been the lacking component to making the miracle happen. So we have affordable cars. We know how to mass produce them. We have adequate range. We can fill them up in 5 minutes. They produce 12 gallons of drinking water every tank full. We have the cure for the disease. And that the government spend money on putting in infrastructure, just like they did with the interstate highway system, in order so cars can travel freely across the United States. We're spending far more on an electric infrastructure that will never be successful than putting it in hydrogen, where we can actually cure the disease and we can start pulling cars, trucks, boats, buses, trains off of the carbon footprint and create a better world for ourselves. We have everything we need. It's time to get up and demand that all of our lives are right now matter to get this thing going. I want to see everyone saved. Remember, it's just like the rising tide. When this stuff takes effect on a large level, everyone floats. But by the same token, if we fail to act, everyone sinks.
So Jason and Sarah, how do you guys feel about the future being in the hands
Guys
of...
have to look.
About your future being in the hands of a few leaders in this country? Like, what do you think that you can do so that you grow up as a leader and you can change this so that people can't take advantage of the 99% of people who...
How old are you guys? Why don't you tell everybody?
Oh, I am 9 years old.
9 years old, okay.
I'm 12.
All right, and we got Sarah and Jason here, so, all right.
What is going on is that if we do not act right now, there is nothing good that could happen. And that, as she said, 7 years from now, we could have an extremely bad natural disaster and not much. We have every single thing that we need to solve this problem. We just have to act on it. It's like ordering a pizza but not eating it. It's just a complete waste. Wow. So unless we act now, everything will go bad.
And it's the youth. The youth are the people who are speaking up because they know that it's their future that depends on it. These regulators, these leaders of our country aren't doing anything because they're benefiting now, but they're going to be gone when everyone else has to pay for it. So we need change, and this is so important for our future to do this.
Our generation is leaving you a broken wreck to try to salvage, and it's going to be hard after we break everything and hand it to you and expect you to fix it.
And we have everything that we need to fix it.
Yeah, except for the will to do it.
So you're saying it's like your parents giving you
Car.
So yeah, like your
And then
parents
you
giving
break
you
it, and then your dad doesn't know how to fix it.
No, it's worse than that. Say your parents were giving you a car, but it's broken. That they drove the car, and it's broken. So your parents are not leaving you with their broken car to fix.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to walk instead of riding in the luxury car like your parents did, right?
Yeah.
And do you guys feel like, through school so far, do you feel like you guys have been taught about this? Do you think anyone's really tried to teach you how you can fix the problems that you guys are going to be left with?
No, nothing.
Nothing
that
really.
They teach us in school is nothing. even compared to what we're talking about right now.
What-
All they're teaching us is like math, science, social studies, all that stuff. Nothing about trying to save the world.
Do they even mention that there's damages that we need to do, or what do they talk about when they talk about being environmentally friendly?
All they're talking about is like natural disasters that already have happened and already had solutions to it.
Yes. Like, when I was doing my online class, we were going about rock falls. And they fell, and there was a motel right next to it, and a rock went right between two cabins. And it almost had a disaster.
Wow.
Another one that was an actual disaster was one of the big oil spills but they actually solved that. They should, instead of teaching us about what has happened and has been solved, they should teach us about what problems we have now and maybe how we can try and fix this problem.
So let me ask you guys something. Did you know, you mentioned the BP oil spill. Did you know that you're talking about problems happening now, that every year the same amount of oil runs off all of the roads in America as the same amount of oil as the BP oil spill runs off into the ocean every year?
Every time a car gets filled, everybody leaks a couple of drops of fuel onto the ground as the hose goes in between the car and the pump. If you add all of those up, that all ends up in your drinking water, so you end up drinking gasoline, MTB, all kinds of other chemicals.
So it's like a never-ending oil spill that's happening in your oceans, in your world.
Like an oil.
Everywhere, somewhere in the world, oil is being spilled in large quantities as these tankers travel. I mean, there was one a couple of weeks ago that was grounded on a reef up by Japan and linked up tens of thousands of gallons of oil. All right, their solution was to drag it off and sink the ship. Out of sight, out of mind.
Oh yeah,
We-
that sounds like a perfect way to solve that problem.
Sink your problems. That's what they did with the Gulf Horizon. They put the dispersant in, suck it to the bottom of the ocean, where it killed all the plankton and shellfish life that people made their livings on fishing in the Gulf.
Unfortunately, because of our leaders, the kids have to be adults now, and the kids have to take action because there's no other choice. The kids are more mature and understand these problems more than the greed of this society that's been running way too long.
Yeah, I mean, there's Gretchen in Norway, who's just a little kid that started a worldwide movement to try to save the planet, and she's demanding that changes be made. Well, the one thing that we're offering that she hasn't is we're offering a solution. So hydrogen is the answer. The hydrogen economy's always been the answer. 80% of every molecule in the universe is hydrogen. We're mostly hydrogen because we're mostly water.
So the children are the voice of this. We have the solution. Other clean energy solutions are out there. So we just need the kids to.
The kids have to talk to their parents about saving the planet for them. Don't consume every single drop of oil in the world and leave you guys no natural resources to start the next millennium. Let's not pollute all of the air and all of the water on spaceship Earth.
So how does this technology work in simple terms that everyone can understand?
Well, we've got 2 fuel cells sitting on the table here. So these take hydrogen in a tiny little tank. You can hold up the little tank there. There's one next to it. Jason, see it? No, right there. Yeah. So this little tank holds hydrogen in it. This tank can be placed into the fuel cell. We can put it into a box for 500 years, take it out, and it works.
That
There's
little
no
thing
battery in here.
in your hand right there that looks like a AA battery, that's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, it's right here.
Right there. So it makes sense to you, Sarah, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty easy.
So this is energy that has no shelf life. All the fossil fuel that we get from the ground all has a shelf life because it's organic. It has carbon in it. What are we? We're carbon-based creatures. So we're water and we're a handful of soluble minerals. This is the most abundant source of fuel anywhere. Think about in outer space where you can harness the power of a star by taking solar energy, splitting water, then taking that and putting it through a fuel cell, getting the energy back, creating water again, and then putting it through the electrolyzer again to make more hydrogen. It's a continuous loop because the big nuclear ball in the sky shines 24 hours a day in outer space. So now you have energy no matter where you are in the solar system because you can harness the power of the stars. We're not pulling dead dinosaurs out of the ground and putting them into our air and thinking it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, if NASA has been utilizing this technology since Apollo, I mean,
Well, you know something? NASA does things that work, and they don't care what it costs. Here on Spaceship Earth, they only want to make profit, and they don't care whether it works. So we have to demand that we do things that are correct and not politically correct. And that's what you guys, have to go to your parents and say, demand hydrogen fuel cell cars, million hydrogen homes. They were fueled by natural gas, but now they're going to be all going to be made from renewable. The Japanese get it. They live on an island. They don't have any oil resources. And they think they can bring this technology to the rest of the world, which is why Toyota has created a series of videos called Fueled by Everything. I urge all the readers to take a look at all of the videos, including the one for the Super Bowl, the Daisy commercial that says it all.
so who all is involved now? The countries and the companies?
Well, there are many pioneers out there that are, like me, are all getting arrows in our back. But, someone has to fight the fight in order to free the many. So, we're like the pioneers. We're taking the arrows, and we have to fight unconventional warfare in order to get this done. We are faster than them, and we're not as upfront. We'll sneak behind the bushes. But we'll get them down to a point where we can take over. And that's where I'm relying on the kids of Spaceship Earth to do this.
Yeah, just like
Because you're an unprecedented force, and you can influence your parents, and soon enough you'll be adults. Jason, you'll be driving in 4 years. That car out there is going to be yours. You know how to fill it. And maybe today we'll have you drink the water out of it. How cool is that?
Can I?
Better than going to the store.
Yay!
So that's why we need the power of the people. We need kids involved. We need everyone involved and to understand this technology so we can really make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, right now there's a doomsday clock that's ticking in New York that's counting down, the end of the world, the non-turning point where we can't go back again. So we have to act quickly to do this.
No, that's not good.
And it's not like
Not
this.
good.
It's not like any of this stuff is far fetched either. I mean, we're staring at these now, and
If you had a
we're
generator in your house, you'd be dead.
Really?
Yeah, because the carbon monoxide would kill you.
All right.
We can run these indoors,
and create oxygen and
take it on
water.
an airplane, charge your
Yes.
cell phone, right?
Because the generators, what they do is they take gasoline and they convert that stuff into energy, but yet they give up pollution and not good air. If we put that in a house, like in a basement, say you had a blackout, turn that on, you're in danger.
Fuel cells can operate in closed spaces like a spaceship in outer space.
Well, our Earth's not too different from a big closed space either, because it's really a big ball that's sealed up from that whole world around it that we live inside of.
We're protected by the atmosphere. If that atmosphere would ever disappear, all our oxygen would disappear. The shield on our ship that protects us from all the sun's rays.
And this whole house, guys, what we're sitting in here today is running on this technology. So this isn't an idea. This is a well-tested, almost 20 years practiced application of this technology. And
You have NASA that's 70 years.
in use.
Spaceship Earth right now, the 911 system, the telephone system, is backed up by batteries and fuel cells. Okay, so we have forklifts now that are now becoming tens of thousands in all of these warehouses because it's a cost-effective model. We're seeing cars now that are now affordable that you can buy. It was just announced that the Toyotas now are half price. You can buy them in California. The
Wow.
only thing missing is the infrastructure, and government is owned by the oil companies and won't let it happen. It won't put the right resources in to make this happen. We have to demand zero emission vehicles. California last week said that after 2,000 sold. So that means it's either battery or fuel cell. But the problem with batteries is you're still running off the coal burning power plants. Whereas with Whereas with hydrogen, you can be running off the big nuclear, the sewage can all be turned into hydrogen.
So, but anyway, hydrogen would be, you could not charge your Teslas, because the Tesla's power energy, mostly the other energy, gets your energy from our power plant, which uses off those fossil fuels. If you have this hydrogen, you could run it 24/7 without
Off a big solar field, yep. And there are other ways to do it. We can use gas from landfills, from things that are decomposing. So we don't have to take any more virgin carbon from the ground. But you have the oil men in Texas saying, you know, we want to burn it all.
So this is a way to start using the pollution we've already made as our fuel source and to clean the planet at the same time. So what does this sound like to you? You guys are, young. How does that sound? Does that sound crazy, or does that sound like a really good idea?
Sounds like hydrogen could be the way to a positive energy future.
What's that?
Sounds like hydrogen could be the way to new, clean energy.
Well, think about, when you make your energy, you put oxygen back. What does your body need? You need clean
Oxygen.
water and oxygen, right? And you need clean food. So you're cleaning up the water that's used in the food that you eat, and your energy is not polluting your body, it's now healing your body. We can eliminate 94% of all greenhouse gases caused by automobiles and buildings by going to this technology. And like I said, there's not enough of a push. They're doing battery vehicles that you're going to end up drinking because the batteries aren't recyclable. They'll end up in the... Tell me how this is a solution. Plus, you got to wait all those hours to charge the car. You saw how quickly the car charged.
Faster than a Tesla.
How fast was it?
It was only 5 minutes at max,
Really?
maybe 10.
So like a regular car, pretty much.
No, and with
Yes,
gas, it's
a
like
normal gas
2
car and a hydrogen vehicle probably charges probably gets some energy at the exact same amount of time. If we convert every single car to electricity, energy plays we use any time and just putting it down.
Right.
I mean, there will always be places for battery power, and battery power and fuel cells work good together in certain cases. And technologies will evolve as we go, but we have a cure now that we need to use now. There's no more time left. You can't use it after you're dead.
So how quickly could we change the infrastructure that we have now into a sustainable, clean
So the
energy?
gas companies have been dealing with hydrogen for over 100 years. In fact, one of the largest industrial uses for hydrogen gas is to hydrogenate fossil fuel, gasoline.
And what's the term of that called? So the public can actually look this up for themselves to realize
So they use
that.
hydrogen to get better efficiency out of gasoline. So instead of, let's say, natural gas is CH4, you add more hydrogen, which would make it CH6.
Is there a
they-
word for
they
that
burn
called
what we-
racking or
It's
something?
called hyphane.
Hyphane?
Yeah.
And in the process, is it called like racking or something like
No,
that?
it's metering.
Metering. Okay.
Yeah, so
That's
you're
what it is.
actually metering it in with the natural gas.
Okay.
So this is a technology that's been around, and it can be used to extend natural gas life with renewable cleaner it burn. And remember, when you burn hydrogen, you get water. Pure water.
So they're diluting, cleaner and more efficient.
We're going back to nature. This is the way nature does it, not the way man does it.
Mhm.
When man does it, we end up with plastic in every piece of the ocean, our drinking water. How it ends, do a full circle analysis of our environment, and not do things that fracking on every space in the United States so we could export gas. Well, that fracking pollutes all the groundwater. All right, they inject all those, and you're drinking it. Us.
And how often do those spills and accidents happen that pollute our environment around us even more than just the normal processes?
Thousands of times every day.
Wow.
The more of them that are out there and the longer they're there, after 10 years, 90% of the well casings have fractured. I mean, look at earthquakes. You have shifts in the earth. We had an earthquake here in New Jersey last week.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe not in our specific
It was
area.
down by the shore. They had a
yeah.
level 3.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's 2 more levels away, and you already got a number 5. 5's the biggest one.
Well, it's not the biggest one, but it's enough to fracture all these wells. Making time bombs in the ground. What do you think we do with our nuclear waste?
We throw it in the ocean.
Go down and they don't come back sometimes.
Oh yeah,
Bye.
nuclear subs.
Right, there's been a few of them that have gone down.
And the Titanic.
We just had a big fire in California where they store the nuclear rods from the 3 power plants
Uh-oh.
in California. It caught fire during the California fires. So all that radiation gets expelled up into the air.
Like the Titanic.
Have
So-
any of the
How many?
hydrogen-
Do you guys know how long radiation lasts?
Forever.
Just the half-life is like
50 million year half-life. Yeah.
It's
So it may not be terribly dangerous, but it could. When something goes wrong, it goes really wrong.
Like Chernobyl.
Mm.
Yep. Every drop of water that gets evaporated goes into the stratosphere, picks up the radiation, and rains all over the planet.
bye-bye.
So we got to be careful what we burn and what we put in the air we breathe. It's like dumping dirty fuel into your engine. It's not going to run very long with dirty fuel in your engine, your human body, right?
This is wrong.
Sounds like
Yeah,
breathing
and
through a tailpipe.
Like Mike has said before, there's no reason why oil and gas companies can't be energy companies. There's no reason why they can't invest in this infrastructure that's better for the people. And think about the kids. People in charge care more about money and power than they do about your life and your safety and health.
And everybody's. The whole
Everybody's,
planet-
everybody, but your future. It's your future.
And it's
we
really
don't
one
fix it,
person that
there's
makes
gonna
a
be
decision.
No planet to spend that money on.
I feel like the government should really take more time to listen and think about what they're doing. They're messing up our future. They're leaving us with a dirty trash can and us.
Mhm.
They're actually leaving you with a hole in the trash can where all of it's falling into your drinking water.
Which is worse.
I think that's bad. The government should take more time listening to the people, more reasonable health, like could be drinking dirty water.
Well, like I said, we have the cure for the disease, but we're watching people die because we make too much money on the disease.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they just want money and power, and they're like, I think the government thinks he can do anything he wants, like he can.
The government's not caring for the future of the
Yeah.
human race. They're
Mhm.
focusing on the here and now. They're not thinking about what could happen in the future.
Yeah, this is our future.
They're only thinking about their future, Jason. They're not thinking about yours. They're thinking about what's going to happen in their lifetime, and they could care less what happens to you and yours. I want to leave a legacy. And that's why the Hydrogen House was formed, and that's why I'm going to devote every last minute of gas in my gas tank to doing this. So that you guys, so you guys have a future.
Well, now I want to just take a little note here. You kids have seen this technology. You used it today, and we've got videos on that, so you guys can check that out on our social media and follow us on YouTube to check that all out. Did you guys have fun? First question.
Yes, I did. It was a little hard going through the steps
Okay.
because I was trying not to talk.
Uh-huh.
Because my parents call me a chatterbox whenever I talk too much
Okay.
when I'm at my house.
But now you're a chatterbox that knows how to use hydrogen technology.
Yes, I am.
That's right.
So what did you drive today, Sarah, that was
I
hydrogen?
drove the Hydrogen Ranger.
No, it was a Hydrogen Polaris Ranger. You said better, more than it was originally intended for. So you just made it go better.
And it's now running off of hydrogen.
So
Wow.
you can get a drink of water.
Yes. What I drove today was the hydrogen powered Prius Mirai.
Toyota Mirai.
Toyota Mirai. And it is very good for our environment. Not too hard to charge. You just have to buy like one button that says H2O. You can just press it and water already comes out the back. He actually drank the water in the
Desert?
not the
Death
desert.
Valley.
Death Valley.
California.
Yes.
You guys want to taste some of the water today? We can
Sure.
fire it up.
Yeah.
We were already gonna do it anyway.
Or maybe if you guys stick around, we'll do another video of that after and show you guys what it's like drinking the byproducts are better for you than the water that you can get out of your sink, which is something interesting. And I want to thank you two for coming out today and looking at this technology and representing it. And it's sad to me that you guys are looking a lot better than most of the political leaders that we see now on television. So you guys looked at the technology and you figured out the answer to all the world's problems in about a couple of hours. So
Like a couple of minutes.
oh, well, there you go.
They're a lot faster than me.
So, you know,
We gotta actually think of time.
spread this and tell your friends about it. And you can
Video, you know, and share it with as many people as possible. We have to get the word out that there's a cure. If people don't know there's a cure, then they can't go ahead and buy point where we're presenting the solution. The third thing we're doing is we're going to be making products that people can buy and companies they can invest in to see that you guys have a future
Yes, it's
and a bright one. Now all of our eggs are in one basket as a species.
well, we've got people like to put our eggs in. So we've got a good one here.
Old timers, you've got
millennial,
the millennials,
Gen
and
Z,
And
Yeah, a pre-seed.
almost.
the
The future.
future, mid-time.
but it's going to take all of us to get this through and to get it implemented. But this thing can change our world. Imagine no more asthma anymore, breathing clean air,
That would
having
actually
clean
be
water
amazing.
for everyone.
That'd be amazing because our friend
I
Dean has
actually-
asthma.
No, so my actual friend Dean, he actually suffers from asthma. He takes his inhaler every time, brings on cameras. It would be amazing if he can air, and it would be just be great.
I mean, asthma for the most part is caused by particulates from diesel motors or from burning home heating oil. These small particulates, they lodge in the lungs and they hurt developing children from developing lung capacity. Like I said, we found the enemy and it is us. We have to go back to using technologies that are going to clean our environment,
Not end it.
not end it. Yeah.
Yeah, so we already know the ecological and health benefits of this technology, but also there's financial benefits too, tax deductions and never having to pay for energy again. So please check out our next live video and check out At War with the Dinosaurs, which will be on Netflix soon. And thank you very much. Visit hydrogenhouseproject.org.
Don't forget to donate.
All right.
For the new generations.
Yes.
All right. Let's go.